Welcome to the Monday edition of the Nintendo Podcast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. Before we jump into this, I want to invite you guys to the Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. I want to give a huge shout out to my community. We have almost funded the entire trip to PAX. We are like 85% there. So I just appreciate you guys so much. I want to remind you guys that I will be doing a meetup at Yards Brewery, 7 p.m. on Saturday, December 3rd in PA. Or in Philadelphia. So if you guys are in the area and you want to come hang out, I believe myself and Johnny Bo are going to be there. So hopefully we get to see a handful of you. And if you're going to be at PAX, of course, hit me up there as well. If you want to help out with PAX, you can go to n64josh.com/donate. Also, you can pick up new NPC merch by going to n64josh.com/store and use coupon code PAX Unplugged to save 10%. And there are brand new Scarlet and Violet NPC shirts available. So, jumping into the news today, the focus is on Mario Kart. Wave 3 of the booster pack is on its way. We're going to start this video over here and take a look. The trailer starts with Maple Treeway. Now, we were playing some Mario Kart 8 over the weekend, and everybody's first, like a lot of people, the first track they wanted to see was Maple Treeway, me included. Not the biggest fan of Mario Kart Wii because of the motion controls, but Maple Treeway, fantastic track. Very, very excited to see it's making its way to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And these tracks, from the trailer anyway, look to have a little more textures, look to be a little bit more on par with the rest of the game. I want to make a quick note about Mario Kart, and I'd love to hear from some of you guys. You can reply either to the question in the show notes or the description of the YouTube video. But have you guys ever run into issues within Mario Kart where like your controller just turns the wrong way and the vibration all of a sudden feels off? That's something I ran into recently, and I would love to hear from you guys. It only seems to be happening, as far as we can tell, on brand new tracks within the DLC. So taking the video back a little bit here, of course, we're seeing Maple Treeway. We're seeing another Rainbow Road. I am kind of curious on how you guys feel about that as well, because I know some people do not like the tracks that do not have the barriers up. This is one of the most beautiful Rainbow Roads, in my opinion. It is from Mario Kart 7, and you get to drive on the Rings of Saturn. Mario Kart 7 up there with one of my favorite Mario Karts. If I were to rank them, it would probably be Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and then 7. Honestly, 7 was just a really, really well done game, and I spent many, many hours with it. Next up on the list is GBA Boo Lake. Now, I'm going to go back. There's going to be some, I'm going to do some videos here of showing off some of these older tracks, what they look like and what they look like now. The next track, and we're just going through the video, and then we'll kind of go back and touch on everything here, was Berlin Ways, which is in Germany. And then we have another Mario Kart 7 track, which is Rock Mountain. Fantastic track. DS, we get Peach's Garden, or Peach Gardens, which is great. And then Tour London Loop, which is of course from Mario Kart Tour. And there's a pretty cool fog. And then we're getting Merry Mountain for this holiday season. I'm torn a little bit on Merry Mountain. It's great that we get a holiday track, but I don't necessarily love the idea of having this holiday track running year round. But it is what it is. We are getting, from the looks of things, we are getting, let's see, 3 tour tracks, and then 5 classic tracks, which is great. The more classic tracks for me, the better. Now, let's dive into a handful of these tracks. Like I was saying, Maple Treeway, one of my favorites on the Wii. The driving through the leaves, seeing the piles of leaves. If they leave it in, there was wigglers you had to avoid. This is a great track, all up and through the trees. Like I've always liked this track. Excited to jump back in and to have it a part of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It will get picked on the regular, and it looks like they did a better job with Maple Treeway than they did with Coconut Mall, because Coconut Mall still did not get the love I feel like it deserved. But getting some of the top tracks from Mario Kart Wii onto 8 Deluxe, fantastic. I'm here for it. Again, I talked a little bit about we're looking at Rainbow Road on the 3DS. Such a great track. Like, I'm just really excited to be able to get back to that as well. I know there's a handful of people that I've been talking with in the community who have never raced it before. Now, the Game Boy track. Oftentimes, Circuit was pretty flat. It wasn't. It's low in my tier list as far as Mario Kart games go, but it looks like they got creative again, just like Mario Circuit from Super Circuit, and it looks like you're going underwater. Overall, it's high up on the list of the tracks I am excited for, because I love it when they get creative with the older tracks. One that comes to mind in particular is Donut Plains 3. I love that it looks run down. I love that it looks like it's aged, and it's a 30-year-old track. There's the Wiggler right there. That we do still see the Wiggler running around. I wanted to make sure I didn't spot that right off the bat, but the Wiggler on Maple Treeway is still there. But I love when they get creative with the older tracks and add new life to them. This looks to be no different. Not to mention, I've always been a fan of the tracks that were inspired by the Ghost House. Ghost House in Super Mario Kart, they were the tracks that I would race and do time trials on more than any other track. So I love seeing that there's a Ghost House inspired track going to be making its way to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The tour tracks, I'm kind of torn on those. Sometimes I really I like them. I like that they are relatively creative, but I'm not always a huge fan of them being in real life locations. I love the Mushroom Kingdom, right? I love seeing places that are inspired by levels within the games. And so the real life locations aren't necessarily my favorites, but what I really enjoy about these real life locations, one, they give them some Mario flair, which is great, but two, oftentimes the tracks are like kind of going in reverse on themselves, or you don't take the same, each lap is not exactly the same, which is great and should definitely continue to be a part of the Mario Kart series. I really like that. They took Calamari Desert and really made it into something special in Tour, and then brought it over to the Switch. And it's one of my favorites in this DLC pack because of the variety. So again, I'm a little torn on the location, like the real life location based tracks within Mario Kart, but I like what they do with them, and so I'm excited to jump into these ones. The one that I remember racing, the Christmas inspired one, and it's cool, especially for this time of year. But I can guarantee when it comes up during regular races, it's not going to be one that I choose that often, and just because I think it's just strange that we have a Christmas track in Mario Kart. It's a weird design choice to me. But the track, from what I remember on Tour, was still a good track to race. Like it's well made, and so maybe it won't be that big a deal at the end of the day. It'll be curious to jump back in. One of the things I really enjoy about the Tour Berlin byways is the way they've got some of the Mario characters involved with the real world. And so again, I may once I go hands on with some of these things, my opinion may change, and I'm honestly really looking forward to getting into some of these races with you guys. I want to mention one of the things we're doing. We go live every Monday. I'm shooting for 2 p.m. Pacific. It may end up being a little bit later, but we're trying to see how many people we can get into a Mario Kart tournament. Now, the highest we've had is in the 300s. Last week we hit 122, and I want to keep this going. This is kind of an ongoing. How many people can we get? I know there's almost 50 million people with this game. I'm sure a lot of you listening to this have Mario Kart. Jump into the tour with us. We'd love to have you show up at a live stream. I go live on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. I'm N64Josh on all the places. And we have a great time racing. The way the tournaments are set up is an unlimited amount of people can race. We get shuffled every 4 races, and it's just a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. And so we'll be diving into these new tracks. I'm going to be getting back from PAX. I'm actually going to be exploring a little bit on the East Coast because I've never been over there. So I'm coming back on the 9th, and the 10th, I am planning on a long Mario Kart stream, and would love to have you guys tune in to check out these new tracks, get everybody's thoughts and opinions, and see what everybody thinks. Again, I gotta get the name of this one. It is Boo Lake, probably one of the tracks from this DLC that I am the most excited about. So I would love to hear from you guys, whether it's in Discord or on, if you're watching this on YouTube, in the comments. Let me know which track are you most excited for from Wave 3. Also, let me know what track is going to, like, what track do you need in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe from one of the past games. For me, I'm still waiting to see Wario Stadium from 64. I believe it's the only track to never get remastered on any of the other Mario Karts, and I really, really would love to see that game with, or that track with modern levels, because again, one of my favorites. I hold it near and dear to my heart, and there was nothing better than watching somebody on because you can see everybody's screen right as they go over that jump, hitting them with lightning, sending them back down below. Of course, they're going to take that mechanic out. They've taken it out of Mario Kart since then, but that was such a ruthless way to make your opponent pay. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Again, share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit me up in the Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.